Camplese. I am currently the judge of the Ashtabula Municipal Court. I've been the judge in this court for 21 years. I am the son of Albert Bearcat Camplese and Jen Camplese. My father Albert had a potato chip snack food business, Al Camplese Distributing, and peddled potato chips and snack food items around this county for 42 years before his retirement. He also had quite a career as a bowler. Some people may know him from that arena. My mother, Jen Camplese, was the manager of the Progress Center Hall when it was operating as a party center, and had direct involvement with many weddings and many social gatherings in our community. I have a brother, Dennis, and a sister, Renee, both younger than I, and I'm a married individual. My wife, Christy, and I have 3 daughters, Kaylee, who is our oldest, Taylor, our middle child, who has blessed us with a grandson, Brandon. And our youngest daughter, Alex, is still home and is a senior at Lakeside High School. In the fall, she'll be attending Ohio Northern University. She's been accepted to their pharmacy program, of which we're very proud. I attended the Ohio Northern University, obtaining my BA in business in 1980. Went back to school, beginning law school at Cleveland Marshall School of Law, graduating ultimately in 1985. In 1985, I became the prosecutor of the city of Ashtabula and held that position until 1993. A short time after assuming the role of prosecutor, I became aware of a problem concerning the prosecution of welfare fraud cases. A number of cases were situated around the office that were not being attended to simply because of problems that were inherent with the prosecution of welfare fraud cases at that time. I've always been one to ask the question, why is this? And in doing some research, I found that there was really no reason why a law that was originally put on the books as a banking law couldn't be used for the purpose of prosecuting welfare fraud cases. So we began prosecuting welfare fraud cases using this particular law, which was always a 4th-degree felony offense. So you didn't have to worry about proving the value as part of your case, which you did the way the old method worked out. Approximately 2 years after we began prosecuting, the state auditor, Thomas Ferguson, came calling, wondering what we were doing here in Ashtabula County, because we had, by that time, collected or recouped $1.2 million of taxpayer money that had been stolen through the welfare system. He in turn assigned a task force to Ashtabula County and asked that I show this task force how these cases were to be prosecuted. Ultimately, I garnered 3 commendations from the state auditor's office and ultimately received that year an award from the U.S. Inspector General's office called their Integrity Award. I was one of 40 attorneys nationwide that received that award. The system that I devised here in Ashtabula is presently the system that the state of Ohio uses to prosecute welfare fraud to this day, and it's also used in most of the surrounding states and other states throughout the country.
Well, Mr. Camplese, what made you decide to throw your hat into the ring?
Well, as I indicated, I've been the judge of the Ashtabula Municipal Court for the past 21 years, and certainly the Ashtabula Municipal Court is the busiest court in the county. Statistically, I see more individuals in a calendar year than any 3 judges in the county combined. By contrast, I think last year's figures, we did approximately 8,600 cases. Juvenile court, by contrast, did approximately 2,600 cases. And those cases were split between the judge and a full-time magistrate. It has not escaped my attention in doing my job that a great number of the young adults that are come into my court have an extensive juvenile record. And as a consequence, in discharging my responsibilities as a municipal court judge, I do have access to their juvenile records, and I do have an opportunity to see what has been working for the juvenile court, historically speaking, and what simply hasn't been working. It is, in my opinion, no secret that this county is suffering from a terrible heroin problem, a terrible methamphetamine problem, and substance abuse problems of all sorts, including alcohol abuse. I believe that if we have any hope of stopping this drug scourge, this substance abuse scourge, we need to begin in the juvenile court system. I've often said that in order for me to be successful as a judge, you have to buy into the power of my idea. And one of the most satisfying things for me in running this campaign is I've posed it as a debate concerning ideas. And I will indicate that as to my Democratic opponent in this race, at the beginning of this race, she has, throughout the debates, indicated that she is not so sure that establishing a drug court in the juvenile system is the answer. And just this morning, I opened up the paper and I see that in her comments in the Gazette, she is now leaning towards establishing a drug court or a mental health court in the juvenile system. So I think there's no greater compliment that can be made that than during the course of a campaign that you're able to actually bring your opponent over to your way of thinking, to where they're acknowledging that the idea that you had proposed initially is the better way. On May 6, 2014, I'm asking that you cast a vote electing me as the Democratic candidate for the position of Juvenile Probate Court Judge. I am the only candidate that is endorsed by AFSCME, Power in Action. That is the AFL-CIO. I am the only candidate who has been endorsed by the FOP Lodge 26. I am the only candidate that has been endorsed by the FOPA Lodge 94. There are fundamental differences between the candidates, and I think an educated voter is the best voter. So again, I would encourage you to inquire, make inquiry, and cast a vote on Election Day for Albert Camplese as your judge. Thank you.
That'll work.